Are you that person that wants to be a creator, but you have too much on your plate and not enough time to create? Hi, I'm Sarah, and let me tell you a little bit about my schedule. I have a 9-to-5 job, then when I clock out, I transition into being a competitive ballroom dancer. I also love bonding and spending time with family and friends, and somehow by the end of the night, I find time to create content. One of my favorite questions that I get is, Sarah, how come it seems like everybody else gets 24 hours in a day, but somehow you get 25 and you're able to find the time to film the content and get it out? To answer this question, I follow all the old tricks in the Content Creator book. I have a calendar where I schedule out all my content. I also batch film like a crazy person. When I go to a new location, I film about 3 to 4 pieces of content. But there is one more golden tip that I haven't heard anyone else talk about. This is very unconventional, but it works so well for me. That golden tip is managing your dispensable time, aka lunch break. And I bet by the end of this video, you're going to look at your lunch break in a whole new way. You're probably thinking that I'm a crazy person because your lunch break is designed for you to disconnect, eat, socialize, catch up with friends, refresh. So why on earth would someone think that this is the ideal time to jump into creative mode? You haven't realized it yet, but some of my favorite posts that you have seen me share have been filmed during my lunch break all along. Here are some of my favorite examples that I wanted to share that have been filmed throughout all seasons of the year. I guess I'm just wired differently because whenever I use my lunch break to create content, I come back to my desk feeling productive, energized, confident, and overall just like a boss for getting it done. I'll be walking you through my process, but before I show you, definitely stick around to the end of this video because I have a question to ask you that I'm curious about and what you think about this process. As for micro planning, I have filmed content during my lunch break so many times that I have created a micro plan that is timed to the minute. And maybe, just maybe someday it will be timed to the second, because to me that would be the definition of success. This plan energizes me because I love knowing that every minute counts. My goal is for you to take my template and apply it to the current projects that you're working on and learn to use the same attack of intention and enthusiasm. Let's first set the stage and talk about location. I love filming at Disney Springs. I feel like I can capture that Disney flair without having to go into the parks. Luckily, my office is not too far, and I'll be taking you through the realistic journey on how to strategize time management. As for frequency, I aim to apply this template 1 to 2 times a week. As for pre-planning, there are crucial steps. You have to be camera ready when that lunchtime starts. That means that hair and makeup need to be done. The drawback is that it will require extra time when getting ready in the morning. I tend to set up my outfit the night before and pack any additional props that I think I might need. The second part to pre-planning is ideation. I need to have a clear idea of what I want to film, where, and what is the story I want to tell. A lot of my reels are 10 seconds or less, so I need to be intentional with that vision. In my case, lunch is defined by 12 to 1. At 12 p.m., I leave my desk focused and ready to walk to my car. By 12:05, I have gone through the office parking lot and sitting inside my car. It takes 10 minutes to drive to Disney Springs. I plan to be there at 12:15. Pro tip, on the drive there, I recommend listening to the piece of audio that you'll be using. For example, Like a Prayer by Madonna is perfect. At 12:15, I have arrived and I'm looking to park in my spot. It is important that this spot is forgetful proof. I recommend having a specific number in mind, like 311, which reminds me of the band, or 407, which reminds me of the Florida area code. The key here is think less and do more. Now I have exited the car with my props and materials, including my tripod. Now this is my favorite tripod because it rarely gets stopped by security, and I'll share the link to that below. All right, now it's 12:20. Oh yeah, we have to get past security and get to our location. It's time to set up the tripod, place your phone on the stand. Alert, before you hit that record button, it's time to enter your mobile order. There's a Starbucks nearby and I'm visiting my past order history on the mobile app because my regular items will already be there. Let's get that mobile order ready. Let's rewind and take a step back for a second. If you plan on attempting my micro planning template, then I recommend taking a look at your surroundings and seeing if there's any mobile order or quick service grab and go nearby. Now it's time to film. The clock is ticking because you have 15 minutes to film or less. By 12:35, it is a hard stop. It's time to wrap it up and grab that mobile order. By 12:40, that mobile order is in hand and we're heading back to the car. Now this is a part of my lunch that is more social. I'll grab my phone, I'll text my hubby, see how the puppy's doing. But now that I found out that we can schedule text messages in advance, I might give that a try in the future. For my second pro tip, as you're walking to the location and back, keep your eyes open for any future ideas. Are there any new posters, any new transition spots, anything new this season? Just what is the theme for this month? By 12:45, we are in the car, we're heading back. If we come to a stoplight, take a bite from that mobile order. By 12:55, we are parked. We can finish the rest of our lunch in the car. By the way, I didn't mention that this part of the process is pretty. We can also remove our unnecessary makeup and any additional hair pieces like donut buns. I really love donut buns. They give me that additional volume. By 1 o'clock, we are back at our desk. Yes, you will feel out of breath. You will feel like your heart is pumping out of your chest, but you will also feel so fulfilled because you owned your lunch break. Overall, what did you just see? Every second it can be planned, no matter what it is you are trying to accomplish, and you can use your lunch to be mega productive. Yes, this is crazy, but if you're trying to maximize your time as a creator, you're gonna have to step out of your comfort zone, and this is a type of plan to execute. What is my biggest learning? Well, investing time in yourself is gonna be the best investment, even if it's during your lunch break. I actually discovered that I could create content on my lunch break completely by accident. I wanted to film an intro to Twister reel. I was really limited on time. I didn't have an extra day. It really just came down to either filming during lunch or just not posting at all. I realized that when I was under such a tight schedule that I was capable of doing more than I thought I ever could. This allowed me to make a focus, and to my surprise, this reel performed well. Like really well. I don't always have this much energy, but I do have awareness of my energy flow, which I do recommend mapping. For example, that time that people use to reset during lunch, I know that I will have when I get home. I'm comfortable, I'll change into pajamas, sit down and get into editing content creator mode. I call this blue energy. It makes sense for me to be active during lunch because I'm already out and about, dressed, so it's natural for me to be in productive creative mode. I call this red energy. When I mapped out my own energy flow, I realized it would take more red energy for me to be creative after work, and even more flaming red energy to be at Disney Springs at its busiest time. All I want to do after work is be in my blue energy mode when I'm winding down on my commute, coming home to relax and reset. When your day has ups and downs of red and blue energy, to me that is a definition of exhaustion. You want to protect your energy by blocking your day with energy sets. The benefit to filming during lunch is knowing that I only have 15 minutes to film, which gives me barely any time for retakes. This makes me forget that I have any nerves or insecurities. I know a lot of creators are self-conscious about people watching or judging them, but I have to block and blur this fear if I want to get this content out. Another benefit is polish. If I know that I need to be camera ready during lunch, then I'm going to show up being my best self at work, which means the best style, the best hair and makeup. And actually knowing that I have this to look forward to in lunch makes me really excited to wake up in the morning to get ready for work. My favorite example of this is when I dressed up channeling Elizabeth Sparkle. I wanted to pose next to the Oscar on my lunch break, recreating that iconic lipstick smear scene from The Substance. Afterwards, I cleaned up to meet the president of the department division later on that day. This is a great example of how your personal brand as a creator can carry on over into your daytime role. I also feel a sense of purpose. Maybe you're like me and you love being a creator. Being a creator is my North Star. It's what I want to do for a long time. It aligns with who I want to be. It gives me a sense of purpose. Does it give you a sense of purpose? I also didn't expect this, but this project also gave me a lot of new ideas. For example, I experimented with a Disney Springs report where I share my discoveries of photo ops. These are backgrounds that other creators like you might not have realized exist because you might not have the same proximity to Disney Springs as I do. I think this report is valuable because these photo ops keep constantly changing. I make sure to include ideas for Westside, Town Center, and Marketplace. Ooh, unknown variables. I feel like no matter how much you plan, they always find a way to sneak through. So let's try to look through this and plan ahead. What if my purse alerts security? It'll have to get checked and eat up my precious time. What if all of the good parking spots are gone on the way back to work and I have to search endlessly? Never fear, I have a flexibility plan. If these unknown variables decide to attack my day, then I would use those extra minutes and tack them on to the end of my shift. So make sure that you also have the option of a flexibility plan like that. Thank you for sticking around to the end of my video. It means the world. And thanks for holding on to the question I wanted to ask you. So does this micro planning process sound A, exhausting, or B, energizing? Because I know that it is very overwhelming for a couple of people, but to me it is invigorating. So I want to know in the comments who is in my tribe. Speaking of my tribe, I would love to show you the shorts that I filmed on my lunch break that should be popping up on the screen here somewhere. And as always, if you're looking for creativity, I am one video away.